Hi, welcome to Roll Call. I'm Mike Bonenfant.
I'm still Steve Crowninshield. Michael, how are you?
I'm good, Stephen. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Very good.
Are you tired? Because one of us should be tired, or some of us should be tired. It's been very busy in the city.
The city it's one of those spells when it's serious busy. It's not the usual foolish busy, it's the serious busy.
Yeah, it really has
Yeah.
been. So, well, some of it not even in the city, though.
No,
We have to say that. Well,
but it spilled over.
yeah,
Yeah,
a little bit.
It's amazing how good we work at Rainham, but yeah, it's a bunch of stories, but yes.
Yeah.
You want to elaborate on that one?
No,
I don't
I
either.
was going to let you.
Okay. Yeah, it was bad. And everybody turned out okay.
Oh, good, good.
Next.
Yeah.
No, it was, go ahead, with the SWAT team, right?
Yeah, Rainham had an incident with it was actually started as a check the well-being call.
Yeah.
And when they got to the house, it turned into much more than that. An off-duty Quincy police officer was there. I believe he was intoxicated and wanted nothing to do with the police in Rainham. Was in his basement at the time, didn't want to talk to them, actually threatened them from the basement, and at some point fired a shot up to the basement, like the cellar door. So needless to say, they called for much more manpower.
Right.
They called for a SWAT team. It ended up in a very long standoff. I don't know exactly how many hours.
Right?
Yeah, like four and a half hours.
Yeah.
And with a peaceful resolution, the guy finally did come out. They had some hostage negotiators basically talking to him, or negotiators talking to him. They actually brought someone down from his department that he spoke with as well, which was probably a great thing. And they were able to talk him out of the house. But there was a lot of tense moments up there for the guys who were up there and involved, for our SWAT team, the area SWAT team, as well as the Rainham, Taunton State Police. I don't know who else showed up.
Because he mentioned that suicide by cop. He mentioned there's all kinds of issues. And I will say this, they handled it very well. And I would say that just because he was a policeman, they would have handled it if he was just anybody. I would say that
absolutely.
The outcome wasn't any better or different, because it actually was a little more difficult because he knew, not the tactics, but he knew kind of some of how we would surround the house, and I guess tactics, I guess.
Yeah, he knew what to expect.
Yeah.
Which, probably made it a little more difficult for these guys. But yes, the resolution is the one you always want, and no matter who it is, you want that person to surrender peacefully without anyone getting hurt.
Great restraint on you can't call them SWAT anymore. What do you call them? SRT team.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. There was great restraint in it because he came out of the house on several occasions with a firearm, but he was holding the firearm down in a non-threatening manner. So they were talking to him. There was guys that obviously had him in their sights, but there was no shots were taken, thank God. But if he had made a overt gesture, as they say, we wouldn't be talking about it like this.
Yeah. It was just thank goodness that he did not. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our hats go off to the guys who were up there and from Rainham, Taunton, and the state for handling that situation the way that you did. Just really a great job. Very well done.
And from all accounts, nobody was stepping on anybody. Everybody was just trying to help. Nobody was trying to. Sometimes, they get jurisdictional issues and this and that, but they said everybody was just trying to get a nice outcome for this. It
was basically a what do you need type of night.
Yeah.
What do you need from me?
Yeah.
And I'll give it to you. So. Yeah.
Peaceful resolution is what they were looking for, and that's what they got. So it worked out well.
Yep. A little disruptive for the people who are trying to travel up 138 probably that night.
Yeah.
But hey, could be worse.
Yes.
So, but
the other thing I shouldn't say later. No, we had our second snowstorm of the year, but it was like our first snowstorm. People forgot how to drive. There was a bazillion fender benders. Okay, listen, I don't care if you get 18-wheel drive, you still stop the same. People get so confused. I have all-wheel drive. I go four-wheel drive. I don't care what you got. When it comes to stopping, it's terrible. It doesn't matter.
That's
it's ice.
Right. You don't have four-wheel stop. You have just four-wheel drive.
We had more fender benders.
Yeah.
Slow down. Here's a tip. If it's going to snow, it's going to take you longer to get to work, get to school, get home. It's going to be cold. It's going to be slushy, and the roads are going to be lousy.
Slippery,
As hard as Taunton does a pretty good job. I got to admit, lately last
absolutely.
few years they've really done well.
Thumbs up.
It's just snowing. You can't keep up. You can't have a plow. There was a million fender benders. Our guys were running ragged for, slow down.
Yeah. And we have all that stuff here. We have the plows. We have the sanders. I have a brother-in-law who lives in North Carolina. When they have any kind of ice or snow event there, they don't really have that stuff. The last snowstorm, 244 accidents in one day. Yeah. So,
Well, sometimes I think we as hardy New Englanders forget that we're hardy
well,
New Englanders.
and it's just, that's why it shouldn't happen here. I mean, these
No.
people should be used to it. They're not down there, and I can understand it happening down there. Up here, we should be
But usually after
well
the first
prepared.
one, I'm fully hope the next one will be a whole lot better. Usually,
Yeah.
and the other thing is, social media. Everybody's on social media, so you know there's a parking ban. You know, again, we knew this last storm. It was, it came and went, and we knew it about 5 days out. So if you're going to park your car because you're going on vacation with this person, get it off the street. Double park in the yard. 'Cause we had a couple of those. They went around. They were, the plate come back to somewhere nowhere near here. So we had to tow it. We do not enjoy towing a car in a snowstorm. I do not enjoy telling you got to pay $125, $150 today, and it's going to be more tomorrow. So if there's a parking ban, park your car. There's going to be snow. Get it off the road.
Put it in one of the municipal lots that way you can park
If you-
during
right,
the
and no place
snowstorm.
else.
There are places you can park.
Double it up in your driveway if you have to, but get it off. Because, and in fairness to the plow guy, especially some of your smaller streets like your Whittington and Ware, you have to get it because you only get one lane.
Yeah.
The smaller roads, some of the big roads aren't as bad, it's still bad, but, common sense. And you can't tell me you didn't know because
Oh, goodness.
You burp
Yeah.
loud on that FaceTime and Facebook, whatever it is, there's no book. And everybody knows it in the whole world. So you're not telling me that you don't know if there's a snow ban or...
Well, yeah, plus, I mean, even a snowstorm coming. I mean, the weather talks about it, the news talks about it for a week out,
Yes.
going in.
Yes.
Just an inkling there might be snow 7 days from now. It's like a whole news event.
How many did we tow?
Never
about
mind.
20 cars, 25 cars
Oh,
last time?
it was quite a few.
A lot. A lot in the city that didn't have to be.
Yeah, no.
Nuts.
You got to have got to think about that. You want to keep your car safe, and you don't want to have to go out there and find it that it's been towed. It's just going to cost you a lot of money.
And everybody's upset. Nobody wins.
Correct. The crazy part around here is 2 days later, it was 50, the snow was gone, and all was good.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
And it can stay that way as far as I'm concerned,
Oh my gosh,
just saying.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Well, one
Anything
last thing,
else?
Mike, before we forget.
Go ahead.
That Scam City. Scams, it's for some reason in the winter, they're on the rise. If you're watching your a lot of this is on YouTube and all that stuff, tell your parents, if you have older parents, and yourself, nobody from the police department, the IRS, or any kind of state or local agency is going to call you and demand money over the phone. And if you are in some kind of financial bind and the bank is calling you or something like that, have the bank person and their extension number. If somebody's calling you from the police department and they're asking you for money, which will never happen, say, fine, I want to call you back. What's your extension number? When I was a detective, I had it happen once. I just told Mike, but it's getting to the point now where the bad guys, because technology, is got a good and bad, the bad guys can take it now and have Taunton Police Department kick up on the caller ID. They can have the IRS name, IRS, kick up on the caller ID. The number that is not really theirs, but technology just keeps 3 steps ahead of us.
Yeah.
So if it kicks up Taunton Police and they're asking you for money or something doesn't seem right, just say, yes, sir, can I have your name and number? I'm going to call you right back because this could be a fraud and I want to be sure. And there isn't a legit person in the world that's going to say no.
Correct, because they know they can call you right back as well if you don't call back, and so they have nothing to lose by having you call them, and now you know that you're calling the right place.
Yeah.
Just make sure you then look up the number of the police department so you're calling the right number.
Well, yeah,
don't call a number back on your
well,
caller
no, because
ID.
usually those numbers won't show up. It'll just show the name, but it won't show
Yeah.
Yeah, don't, because it's just, and it's just they're getting more complicated, and they're getting smarter. Yeah. Yeah, so tell your mother, because I know my mother, if somebody calls her on the phone, it's, it's God. I got to tell her every day, no, Ma, you don't have to do nothing. Just, and it's sad because they're taking people left and right. It's just.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a big business for these people, so they're working hard at it. So, trying every angle. It's sad.
If they worked that hard at a job, we wouldn't be talking about them.
I know. They probably wouldn't make the money that they make doing that, though.
Probably smarter because
unfortunately.
they're pretty clever, some of these people.
Oh, yeah.
They can work the computer. I
Yeah,
can't.
no, there's no doubt about it. Yeah. All right. Should we get to the rest of our
Go ahead,
stories?
Michael.
Okay. Here we go.
I don't know. I'm already tired.
I know. All right. This is from a report of Sergeant Matt Squatto. Actually, this is one of the state troopers that they work with. This is kind of his report, Trooper Dunderdale. Because this was done with the Southeast Massachusetts Gang Task Force. They did a narcotics investigation involving a Kenyan hunt. As a result of that investigation, they obtained a search warrant for 99 Ware Street, first floor. At approximately 4:05 the afternoon of 1/17, they executed that search warrant. They ended up having to make forced entry into the apartment. When they did, they located 2 adults and 1 child in the apartment. The 2 adults were immediately detained in handcuffs. And let's see what they found. They asked the subject, Mr. Hunt, who was one of the adults in the room, if there was any drugs in the house. He said no, and then he said, well, there is some just for my personal use. Well, they looked around, and they found in plain view a clear knotted plastic bag containing a light brown substance sticking out of the left front pocket of a pair of jeans that was sitting on the bed, and folded U.S. currency later determined to be $1,032. They also found some other money, $1,270 in one spot, $219 in another, and then they found a Black Ops BB pistol, and as well as a .22 caliber handgun as well, and ammunition. They came from a backpack that they located inside the bedroom. The subject, Mr. Hunt, claimed that he did possess the firearm that was in the backpack. So Mr. Hunt was arrested. He is charged with possession of Class B with intent, subsequent offense, possession of a firearm without an FID, possession of ammunition without a license to carry or FID, an abuse prevention order violation. The other adult in the room was not charged, and she was released. And obviously there were no charges on the child.
This next report, this continues with that cluster week we've had. There's a report from Krista Fortis. This happened at noontime, thereabouts. Actually happened a little bit about 10 in the morning. Chris is working in East Taunton, and he's just parked up there by Pine Hill Cemetery. When he sees a car go by, he stops the stop sign, takes a right onto Pine Hill Street, and he off Stevens Street. He revs the motor up, kind of spins the tires, and does a little fishtail. It's coming like right at Chris on Pine Hill. So Chris puts the blue lights on. Kid doesn't stop. Kid, we know it's a kid now. Guy, young man. Oh, after they go. So now he goes up. They go up Stevens Street. Excuse me. They go into the Bird Lanes. They go all through the Bird Lanes. They come out. They come down Liberty Street. They cut across. They go into Rainham. A couple of Rainham cruisers come at him. He tries to hit a Rainham cruiser head on. They swerve to miss him. He goes up by the lights in 44, comes down 44, goes behind Benny's and that little industrial park Rainham has in there, where Arts Bakery is and stuff. They try to put out stop sticks. He went around them. This went on for a good 10, 12 minutes, 15 minutes. He comes back out to 44, heading into the city, up by Farrell's Insurance. He tries to pass a car. As he's heading into the city, some poor guy is coming the other way. The bad guy loses control, spins out, hits the car head on. Both, at that point, obviously the chase is over. Both gentlemen were transported to Rhode Island Hospital. The guy that was, the victim was coming out of the city. He was treated and released. The kid that was driving the car, what's that his name? What did I do with it? Joseph Dyer, 18 years old. He was still there. He broke his leg. So he's still in the hospital, and he is charged with failure to stop for the police, assault with dangerous weapon, driving to endanger, Mark Lane's violation, unlicensed operator of a motor vehicle. I guess it was his father's car, and his father has since reported it stolen, so no additional charge is going to come on that. But this is a side note. This is why sometimes policemen, when they have reporters at the scene, they don't divulge a whole lot of information. One of our guys, a reporter from a TV station, was asking about the chase, and our Lieutenant Roderick said that the chase started and they were up in the Bird Lanes, and up in that area there, they were going 40, 45 miles an hour. Well, when it came on TV, all it is, the lady says, oh, the speeds were only 40, 45 miles an hour, and they have Paul, and the only part of Paul that they show is the clip of him saying the cars are going 40, 45. Well, they got witnesses on 44 saying the cars were going a whole lot faster than that, and it looks like we're trying to cover something up. We weren't. They didn't give the whole sentence. She just took that one little part. She didn't put the part where Paul said, they were going 40, 45 miles an hour up in the Bird Lanes. So it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, and you wonder why sometimes when we interview or get interviewed, we're very short and sweet with our answers, because you have no choice. Here he is trying to explain.
Short and sweet is usually no.
Yeah, no comment. Well, you know what? You can appreciate no comment because you never know when you're going to be taken out of context.
Yeah.
You know, kind of, I think Bill Belichick got the right idea. You don't say much. You can't twist it. He's explaining, and they only have a short period of time to air it on this, on TV, so they just cut it to make it fit the way they wanted it. Yeah, not good.
That's great. That's a great idea. So, like this week, if someone were to ask me what was going on in the police department, I just say, well, right now, our thoughts are on the game next week at Pittsburgh.
Or no, because we're not football players, but we can say our thoughts are on the next call. That's
on to the next game.
We're on to the next call. The next guy that runs a stop sign in the snowstorm then is in a hurry because he has to go see his mother in church.
Nice. All right. All right. Now, for some of you, I mean, I don't know how long you've lived in the city if you're watching this, but we've been at our current station since the year 2000. Temporary. It's a temporary station.
7 years.
They told us.
7 years.
What did they say? 7 years?
7 years, yeah, because
I
they built
didn't
that
think
thing
it was
back in
that
7
long.
years,
Yeah. So, they had to build the cells on the back when we moved over there, but it was a temporary station, and we moved from a temporary station that we were at for 30 years.
Long before I got there. Yeah.
Yeah. So even before Steve got there. So we're going back a long way. And that was a temporary building as well. So we haven't had a permanent station in the city in 50 years. Well, the thing with temporary buildings is, you kind of add stuff to them to make them,
temporary.
Temporary, yeah. But we had to add cells. We had to add, the doors that lock and have to have key access, all that stuff, or key fob access. Well, they're not made like the permanent ones. So every once in a while, we have some problems with those doors. Well,
Oops.
a young lady was arrested over on 91 Summer Street on January 13th at just a disturbance call, or actually it might have been a little bit of a domestic call. But she ended up getting arrested for assault and battery and brought to the station. During the booking process, the young lady complained of chest pains. While speaking with officers, she then stood up and fled from the booking room. She started to run to the back door, which would lock, and you'd have to have a key fob to open. Well, she went for that door, and the latch was not latching properly because we're in a temporary station, and it opened. So the next thing you know, Sergeant Tremblay and our Officer Brady are off to the races, chasing this young girl across the back parking lot. She makes her way all the way over towards the Sandbar Bar and Grill and Bobby's place. She ends up running into Bobby's place, where Lieutenant Joyce joins the pursuit, as well as Officer Canary. At one point, Officer Canary can see her coming towards the back door of Bobby's place. As she gets there, she realizes he's outside. She runs back in, closes the door. He can't get in because their doors actually work. It locked. But at that point, it was too late. The other officers caught up to her inside the building, where she was taken into custody. So now she's charged with assault and battery from the original call, and she is also charged with escape.
Two things real quick, because we've got the 2-minute finger.
Okay.
You want to know when the last time we had a permanent station was built? 1900 on Court Street. It's the only.
That's when it was built?
That's the only permanent from the ground up police station we've had in the history of the city.
Yeah.
And they tore that down.
We
And real quick, this is a report from Ernie Cretion, and they got dispatched to a hit and run by 10 Oak Street. This is at 6 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, by Bloom's bus station. Long story short, they find the car down the road. They check around. They find a guy hiding in a a storage container type thing. They take the keys out of his pocket. It fits the car. Guess who this guy is?
Let me think. Who else? Maybe someone who ran from the police?
Yeah, his name is Joseph Dreyer. Oh, same guy. Yeah, so 5 days later, he got charged with the same thing. He got charged unlicensed operation of a motor vehicle, negligent operation of a motor vehicle, leaving the scene, and larceny of a motor vehicle. So he's had 2 in about 5 days of the same thing.
Yeah.
And got caught both times. A, he's not a very good driver, and B, he's not very good at hiding. But yeah, we've had one permanent police station. From the time the city's been a city, actually, from the time we were a town, we've had only one permanent police station. That was the one on Court Street. It was built from the ground up as a police station. And that lasted that got torn down late 60s, early 70s. So yeah.
And just so you know, as a note,
Yeah.
that door has been fixed. So
Yeah, it's
no
funny because
longer
we caught her. But
can't just run out anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is funny because we caught her, but yeah,
if
it's
we didn't
still
catch
not
it,
funny. You shouldn't
know,
have to go be chasing her.
No.
So,
Yeah, if we didn't catch it, it wouldn't be funny.
oh no.
Well, we wouldn't be telling you about it. We'd be sworn.
Pick and choose, that's right.
We'd be sworn to
That's right.
secrecy.
Oh, on to a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. As always, we appreciate you watching, and we hope to see you next time.
Thank you.